Hey guys, this is John. Got another product review for you today. This is on the weBoost Drive Reach OTR. Now, if you're one of my few hundred subscribers that subscribed to me recently, you probably don't know what this is. This is a cell phone booster specifically made for vehicles. The OTR stands for over the road, and this model is more specifically designed for truckers, but obviously anyone can use it if they can mount it onto their vehicle. And if you are one of the people that already know what this is, you probably have already seen a lot of reviews. So I hope my personal experience and some of the few accessories I got for this can be helpful in helping you decide on purchasing this product. Now, of course, one of the first questions people are going to ask are, why do you want this? And to answer that, obviously, I want to be able to boost my phone signal where I don't have a good signal. Now, I do a lot of camping. I've done a lot of off-roading in some pretty rural or isolated areas. I've done camping in isolated areas. Or sometimes I'm just up north in northern Minnesota at friends' cabins going fishing or hunting. And a lot of these areas, there's either poor service or no service at all. Now, I did sort of want to use this video as an excuse to show some of the footage of my trips that I had planned on making videos for. I did do a video on Big Bend, which was one of my more popular videos. I'll provide a link down in the description if you're interested in that. It's a video showcasing some of the hiking trails of Big Bend National Park and Big Bend State Park in Texas. But of course, some of these other videos are just from some of the areas I've gone off-roading or camping where I don't have good service or sometimes no service at all. Now, some people are going to ask, if you're going camping or off-roading, whatever, why do you want to be connected? And I can understand that viewpoint. Oftentimes I don't want to be on my phone. I don't want to be browsing YouTube or Twitter when I'm out enjoying nature. But there are a lot of cases where maybe you have an emergency and you would really like to be able to call some sort of emergency services. Having phone connection or phone service would be very important in that kind of situation. Now, I first actually used a Drive Reach Sleek for my work vehicle, and that worked okay. It definitely doesn't seem to have the power of these Drive Reach model or these larger Drive Reach models, where the Reach Sleek just has a very small booster. And I will say that this does get pretty warm. So the way I installed it is I do have front runner racks on my Tacoma, and I use the front runner antenna mount, which lets you swivel it down. Because that mount is a little loose in the down position, I did use this Velcro strap, and I put some little sticky foam pads on the rack, but they don't seem to be sticking very well, so I'm probably going to try to figure out a better option for that. But for now, it holds it just fine when I don't need it. And then, of course, when I do need it, I can tilt it up and get the antenna up in the air. Now, it is worth noting that this model comes with two different rod heights. I used the taller rod, and I'll say on the screen what the lengths are. I can't remember off the top of my head. I chose to use the taller one. As you can see, it gives it quite a bit of height. It comes with a shorter one also that you can use to either have a shorter rod height, or you can combine them to make extra tall antenna. Now, I'm not going to show installation because my case is going to be likely very different than other people, but basically it just wires down below the cab, comes up through a firewall in the floor, and it comes through the back of the glove box. So I actually have this mounted in the glove box. So first, I do have this antenna, which came with a Velcro adhesive that goes to my dashboard, and it goes right behind my phone mount. I do use a quad lock phone mount. I think they're excellent phone mounts. They hold on very sturdy and are an excellent option for off-roading, but just vehicles in general. don't mind the wires hanging down. I do review dash cameras on my main channel, US Dash Camera, so those are just hanging down temporarily. But inside the glove box you can see I have the weBoost booster itself, and you'll see on one side it has the outside antenna which comes in through the back of the glove box, as I said, and on the other side we got the inside antenna which this plugs into, and then we have the power cord. Now for my case I decided to use just the 12 volt cable that came with it. I've seen other channels talk about how they want a permanent installation, but the problem with that is it doesn't actually have an on or off switch, and I don't want it on all the time. This thing actually gets hot, and this probably isn't ideal to put it in your glove box, but I only intend on using it when I need it, not for long term or long amounts of time. And if I do, I'll probably keep the glove box open. So that is something to consider. Another thing to consider, I also have it connected to a PowerCell 8 battery pack, which is specifically designed for dash cameras, but with the 12 volt socket I can connect this into it, and then when my vehicle shuts off I can get quite a lot of power to power this even when my engine's off, and I just turn this on whenever I want it. Of course the big question is going to be, does it work? And I will say yes it does, but there has to be some signal. Now, I tested it in a couple different places. Well, first of all, I tested the Drive Sleek model a couple of years ago in a construction site that was sort of in a valley. So even though I wasn't very far from the city, I just had really awful cell service. And even with that, oftentimes I was able to pick up cellular signal strong enough to even watch YouTube videos, but not always, and sometimes it struggled to stay connected to a tower. And one trick I learned is to turn on airplane mode and then turn it off, and sometimes it reconnects to a better tower. Now this version that I bought for my personal truck, I did test it first at my parents' house because I knew where they lived, just south of Minneapolis in the suburbs. They have really poor service. They really depend on Wi-Fi because I think the fact that they live on the bottom of a hill sort of blocks some of the cell service from the closest tower. And when I was there, I was able to go from anywhere from like on the low end of moderate to poor service to basically instant excellent service with a flip of a switch. And you can see the screenshot here where it jumped up. Now when I went up north in northern Minnesota, where I know the closest tower, cell phone tower, was roughly 25 miles away, my phone said I had no service actually, and then as soon as I turned it on I was getting excellent service and was able to watch high-def YouTube videos. So it definitely works. Now one thing about the installation that I was not quite sure about is that the location should be at least 18 inches but no more than 36 inches from where the cellular device will be used. Now that didn't make sense to me because everyone I've seen says the closer this is to your phone, the better, which is why I mounted it right behind my phone mount. So I did give weBoost a call, and I just asked them what the deal was with that 18 inches. And that 18 inches is assuming you're holding your cell phone, so that distance is more to keep you away from this antenna. Now, I'm not sure if they have any evidence that this would be unsafe to use near you or close by to your body for long periods of time. But luckily for me, where I sit, it's actually about 20 inches or so from my body, obviously other than when my arm is reaching up to it. So that's something worth considering. You want this to be as close as your phone as possible for the best service, but you don't want to be sitting within 18 inches of it for long periods of time, according to weBoost. Now, I didn't want to just use this for my truck, so I went ahead and got some other accessories, and most of them aren't too bad. One is this wall AC adapter, and I will provide a link down in the description to where you can purchase this directly from Wilson Signal Booster, or I believe, I'm not sure if that's their official website, but Wilson is who makes these weBoosts. and you can buy this directly on their website. It is a specific model that has the right plug for this model. The ones on Amazon that I've found do not work for this, so check that in the description. Now, for using it in the home though, or say in someone's cabin, I didn't want to use this antenna. It has, up to 3 feet of range apparently. I wanted to try a different antenna, so I bought this antenna, which is for RVs or 1 to 2 rooms, and it was only like $20. So again, I'll provide links down in the description where you can purchase either the booster or the optional accessories that I'm showing you guys. But I was able to plug this into the wall at my friend's cabin. Now, I just threw this right outside one of the windows. It wasn't ideal, but then put this on the kitchen table. It's a pretty small cabin, so it's not a big area, and I was able to get signal where normally I would never be able to, and I was even able to watch YouTube videos. Now, it wasn't 100% perfect. There were times where maybe it's because too many people were using cell phones near it, but I think the limiting factor was going to be the fact that I didn't have this in a very good place. I could have had it up on his roof or something where he used to have a phone booster actually, and it unfortunately broke, so it was a good chance to test this out. I did also buy this roof antenna. Obviously, this isn't going to be as good as the OTR antenna, but the reason I got this is because I want to be able to bring this into another vehicle and just throw this on the roof. So guys, overall, I think this is an excellent option. It is pretty pricey at $520. If you're someone like me that goes out camping or off-roading, whatever, hunting, fishing in remote areas, and either you just want to be connected for social media or you just want to be connected in case of an emergency, this is a very valuable tool. And I also highly recommend going ahead and getting some of these optional accessories so you can use it besides just in your vehicle. I think it's totally worth it. I think this was around $30. So guys, if this video is helpful, please hit like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.